Good morning everybody. I've come to the beautiful location this morning, which is Bodiam Castle. Now, that's a bit of a trek for me. That is just over an hour's drive through some very narrow country lanes, which is nice, but not easy to get to for me. And this is the third time that I've come here this month. So this has been a bit of a painful location for me to try and get right. I have been here many times, but most recently I've been chasing mist, and I'm not entirely sure we're going to get it. As some of you probably know, mist is quite difficult to get hold of, and this morning I've got temperatures of -1 degree Celsius and clear blue skies. I think that's good conditions. Humidity levels are up. Let's see when we go up this hill. Don't think we're going to get any mist this morning. Oh, the weather predictions on this place has been really tough. First time I came here with Pablo, which is at the beginning of the month, we were literally stood here in the rain and the weather prediction was still 0 chance of rain. Alright, so let me help you get your bearings. Essentially, as you come up from the car park, you'll be confronted with the southern elevation of Bodiam Castle. Now this is probably the least photographed side, not because it's not pretty, but because on the other side it's got the bridge that leads up to the entrance. So this can be photographed, there's no doubt about it, but you've got to kind of pick and choose the scenario that you might photograph the southern elevation. So this is actually the elevation that's going to get the sun. The sun's going to come up over there because it's winter. It's going to light up this elevation. However, I'm going to be on the northern side photographing the obvious shot because that's a bit more photogenic. But if you do want to photograph the southern elevation, you're going to get some good light on it. Plus, if you're going to come here at night time, do a bit of astro, things like that, then I've been here previously and I've shot the North Star from this facade. Throughout this video, maybe just at the end, I'll put a collection of photographs that I've taken here over the years, and I'm always chasing mist at this location. I don't know how many times I've got to come here to get mist. It's exhausting. I'll stop complaining because I've got some lovely conditions here. I'm actually surrounded by frosty fields and everything, very calm conditions, very still water. Literally like a mirror lake. Let me help you get your bearings, okay? Castle is in the middle, completely surrounded by water. On the northern side there is a bridge that leads to the entrance, and it is open to the public. It's a National Trust site, and you do have to pay if you want to go in and get a tour. What I would do is I'd just look for a gap in the trees and try to avoid these branches overlapping with the castle itself. And in conditions like this morning, you've got a beautiful reflection, no movement in the water. This is lovely. I think it'd be a bit rude of me not to get my camera out and take a photograph from here. I was just going to walk around to the northern side and set my tripod up and wait for the light. However, this is such a nice clean shot. I think that this is the cleanest composition I can put together because the branches from that side of the shot, this side of the shot, and from the underneath, they're all kind of creeping in from different angles. But essentially, I think I would just Photoshop out the few that have ended up here. No filters. I don't think I've ever made a video for YouTube that's literally just got stuck into the photograph so quickly. We're still about half an hour away from the sun coming up above the horizon, but at the moment this is a really easy shot. You don't need any filters, you don't need any grads or anything like that, because it's equally exposed. The sky, the reflection, the castle itself, really easy shot. I think once the sun's up I will return to the south-east corner because that's a really nice composition. Something else to take into consideration, if you come here in winter, sunrise is about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and the staff start to gather around the north side because they need to open up the castle for the general public and kind of sort everything out. So you will be somewhat disturbed if you set your tripod up. They are very friendly staff, very understanding, and they'll actually let you finish taking your photographs and things before you move. But take into consideration, if you're doing 20-minute time lapse, you're going to have to move because one of the obvious shots here is a symmetrical shot which is bang in the middle of the bridge, and essentially they will need to go inside, open the gates, and then they bring out some golf buggies and things. That's for taking some of the members of public around. One of the other things that I really appreciate about this place, and it's a bit geeky, but I think it is cool, is that this castle here is still opened by an original gigantic key. So last week when I was here with Louise Welcome, they showed it to me, and it's about a foot long, and that is still how they open the castle even today. I think that's pretty cool. I think this is one of my favourite vantage points. It's kind of in the northeast corner, castle framed in between some trees. So you've got one here and then you've got another one there. Again, you just need to be careful that you don't have branches and leaves kind of crossing over the castle. It's a bit distracting, it's a bit ugly. Now, in the ideal conditions, you would come here in the summer because this is north facing and the sun would be coming up at say 45 degrees to the north elevation. But that will mean a very early start for you. I've never done it. I've been here at night taking twilight photographs and photographs of the North Star, etc. But ideally, you'd come here in the middle of summer and then you would get this facade lit up at sunrise. Oh, that would be beautiful. Let me show you to the obvious shot. Now, this is probably the shot of Bodiam Castle that you recognise. This is the north elevation and you've got this lovely timber bridge here. The original entrance to the castle used to come from the bank across there, 90 degrees, and then to the front entrance, and that's how they could attack people trying to get to the castle. That's why there is this remnants of a stone kind of corner section in front of the building. That's what that is. That's a part of the original L-shape bridge. Okay, anyway, this is not a tour of the castle, this is about how to photograph it. So I'm going to set up my camera, I'm going to get a perfectly symmetrical shot. Now, this is a difficult shot, I'll tell you why, because it's currently kind of side lit, but it's mainly backlit. Okay, so what you're doing is you're photographing a silhouette against a very bright sky. Now I could use grad filters, but essentially hard grad filter would put a very dark line across the top of the castle. Even a soft grad filter is going to start to interfere with the brightness of the top of the castle. So on that basis, and I don't particularly like doing it, I'm bracketing the images. I will then manually in Photoshop kind of blend the images together. I'm not going to run it through some HDR software or just leave it to the computer to decide. So yeah, I'm bracketing simply because this is a very contrasty scene. The sun is literally coming up, so maybe if some of that sunlight hits the front or the side, that might work, but otherwise you may have to bracket. The sun is up, it's not really making the photography any easier from here, but essentially I am bracketing 2 stops either side. That's how contrasted this scene is. But now the foreground's got a bit of interest. You can see some of the light on the bridge. On that side of the bridge you've got direct light as well. And then there are parts of the castle which are actually, like the turrets, they're being lit up from the side. But I have taken those shots. I think I'm going to have to move because I think there are some other more interesting shots. Quite like the look of this. I've got a personal preference. If you're going to come to the side of the bridge, which I recommend because there's a really nice shot here, and you have the bridge in it, then I would say there's only a certain point where you want to come to the side because you're using the bridge as a lead-in line. You can see here, this is a diagonal line cutting into your image. That's nice. If you come too far this way, you can see it starts to become this horizontal line which doesn't really work. So that's what I would keep an eye out for. Because I've got such a clear blue sky day, I'm losing some of the best light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop filming and concentrate on the photographs. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're going to come to Bodiam Castle, now hopefully you know your way around. Here are a selection of photographs that I took today and in the past. Otherwise, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the photographs.